Hey y'all, and welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
And I'm Jen.
And today we got a lot of stuff that's going on, so just tighten up your boots and hang on. So before we jump into all the activities that we're doing today, we want to say first off, thank you. Thank you for the response that y'all gave on our previous video about me quitting my full-time job.
Yes.
The love and support has been absolutely amazing, and it just recertified the reason why we're doing this.
Yeah, it definitely does. You know, when it's met with positivity, it makes you feel better. So
yes.
Thank you very much.
Not so scared, like, yeah, all right, maybe this will work. But we did want to clarify. So in the very end of that video, we talked, like we really on the fly came up with a discount that we were going to do for Etsy to celebrate me quitting my job. Well, it's finalized now, and we wanted to give you those details. So the entire Etsy store that Jen has, everything's in stock right now, but it's going fast. It's going to have a 15% off discount your total order. So there's no code that you need to put in, nothing like that. It's just once you get your total, it'll be automatically applied a 15% discount. One rule, the order total has to be $30 or more. And that's the actual product order. So it can't be like $27 and then tax puts you to $32. Etsy won't recognize it that way. So that's the only little tidbit that you all need to know, but it is all active right now.
Yeah, very exciting. I think we're going to run it until the end of January. And then we'll probably have a Valentine's sale after that. But this one is really important because it's our celebration of him quitting his job and trying to get rid of some products, keep in stock, and figure out what you all are loving the most. So all the teas are back, the soaps are back, all the tinctures are back, but it is going very, very fast. We send out our emails first, so I talked about get on our email list at thestivershomestead.com. You can get on there and you're always the first to find out. So once those people get notified, it really goes quickly. So we try to tell you in a timely manner, but it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things we're working on too. That's one of the first projects that we're going to have. Last thing, and then we'll move right on. If you're wondering which tincture you need, in her Etsy store, every tincture has a description explaining what it's good for, and then on the bottle, it'll actually tell you how much to take and how often to take. Yes. So if you're not sure, just take your time, read the descriptions, and figure out which one might work for you. All right, so what are we starting with?
Well, I've got our freeze-dried zucchini here that we freeze-dried probably over the summer, maybe early summer. And I'm going to actually, well, first I have to switch it jars because I have to get all the little moisture packs out. But then we're going to fill the jars up with water to rehydrate this. We're going to put it in the fridge. Once it's rehydrated, we're going to make zucchini bread because we are all out of our frozen. It's all gone. So thankfully we freeze-dried this and we can make our bread with it. Next, this is something that I've been wanting to do all winter, but I'm just now getting around to it, even though it's really simple. We also freeze-dried cucumbers, and I did that for the hopes of making what we call spa water. I don't know what other people call it. That's what we call it. Sometimes they'll have it in like your hotel lobbies or when you go to get a massage or whatever, but they put cucumbers, usually lemons, limes. I don't have any lemons or limes, but I do have juice, and I have an orange. So we're going to do that. We're going to put it in our fridge, and then we're going to enjoy that. It's really good for you. It gives a little bit of a twist, and you're not drinking just plain water. And it also is like a little summery boost, so it's very nice. I actually remembered that I had these freeze-dried oranges that I did. So instead of using a fresh orange, we're gonna do the freeze-dried ones and see how that tastes.
And so she's just filling that up with our Berkey water, our filtered Berkey water. And how long do you think it needs to sit? Just a few hours. Yeah. Be good.
All right, so this is my lid. You just put it on, and then this pushes everything to the bottom. It's not totally important for right now, but when you go to drink it, you don't want to get like the seeds and stuff. So this is really nice. It just pushes all that to the bottom, kind of like a coffee thing. And then you don't have to worry about getting any of the textured stuff in your water.
The wrinkles.
Yes.
Okay, so we've gotten all that stuff, I don't know, marinating. Rehydrating, let's say that. So that'll take a little bit of time, and then we'll make the zucchini bread tomorrow. But today, we have something really fun to do. So we're actually going to go freeze dryer versus dehydrator. And so we are going to be freeze drying some chocolate milk. Now, we didn't buy this.
We don't buy chocolate milk.
But this was in our fridge when we got back from Mexico. A little treat for the kids that the grandparents had bought. But it's something that's just not going to get drink much, and it's about to expire. So we're going to try to freeze dry some chocolate milk. I think it'd be pretty cool. We freeze dry our cow and goat milk a lot. This will be our first time ever doing one store-bought milk and 2 chocolate milk. So we'll see what comes from that. Second is we're going to dehydrate oranges.
Yes.
So yes, we could freeze dry oranges. However, we know freeze dryers are expensive. We understand that. It's something that you have to work up to. Don't get us wrong. We get it. So we're bringing it back to the classic that what we used to do before we had a freeze dryer.
And we still do it. Just because we have a freeze dryer doesn't mean we don't dehydrate. It's kind of like another thing, you know, if the freeze dryer is full, bring out the dehydrator. And honestly, there's some things that we like the dehydrator better for, like herbs. A lot of people freeze dry their herbs. I just haven't gotten there yet. I'd rather dehydrate them because it feels safer to me. I don't know why, but it just does. But yeah, it's just another tool that every homesteader should have.
Yeah, and some things you don't want rehydrated, right? Like, I mean, you don't want to have to rehydrate them in different areas like that. You want them to be just in a dehydrated state, like, say, jerky or something like that. So, let's pause here. Let me tell you about what this dehydrator is. So we have the Beast, the premium food dehydrator from Denali. So Denali is a new-ish company that has really came about when everybody had a lack of canning lids and canning rings. So that's what they first came out with to kind of compete with Ball and help homesteaders and farmers and just anybody that's trying to do any kind of canning have access to good quality lids that you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for, and aren't from China. You know, those ones on Amazon that always buckled on us all. So Denali came out, and it's somebody, we tried out their lids. We absolutely love them. So they said, hey, we have a dehydrator now. Would you all like to try it out and show it? So we said, yeah, absolutely. And the reason we wanted to try this one out is because we do have an Excalibur. So I feel like the two brands that we've always known for dehydrators was Excalibur, and the canning company has always been Ball and Kerr, right? That's the same company. And that's the only one they had. It was basically a monopoly. Like, if you want a good dehydrator, you get the Excalibur. If you want good lids, you go to Ball and Kerr. And so we like trying out some other companies just to see if it's another option for you all to go look at, and it's not a waste of money. So, for example, the Excalibur dehydrator, the big one with nine racks, is $350. This one, the Beast, is $180, and it has 8 trays. So you're only missing 1 tray, and you're over almost half, over half of the price cut down. So, you know, it's a cheaper option to choose from, and it looks like a good quality dehydrator, but we'll find out. Let's crack this bad boy open. So immediately, one nice touch is that it's stainless steel and not plastic like some of the cheaper dehydrators that you can get online, so that's nice. So it has 8 racks, 12 settings, and then it looks like it comes with maybe some recipes too. So there's a picture of the box. Let's see what it looks like outside of the box.
This looks like an oversized pizza thing.
Yeah.
Put it in the pizza box.
That's pretty. Why is that so satisfying?
Okay.
Doing this, taking off that film. Prettiness. Big fella. Oh, nice. Is that they go on there so things don't fall through?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so this will not be its permanent home because it's very big and it's over where our coffee makers are and stuff. But this thing, I'm very impressed by the quality is. It's not overly heavy, but you can tell it's made out of good stuff. It has a touch screen. Check it out, it's got a light so you can check your food in there. And then when you open it up, you get all these really nice racks. You know, it's stainless steel. It feels good. It feels sturdy. You got a little drip tray down here at the bottom. And then just overall, it feels like a good quality machine.
I also like these handles too. They have on the side so you can carry it.
Absolutely.
So you also get 100 recipes, which is really cool. If you're just getting started with dehydrating and you're like, what am I supposed to use this thing for? There's 100 ideas for you. And then it comes with a manual, of course, which is good. It comes with these little things that cover your trays. So sometimes when you buy dehydrators, they have like one of each cover that you put on the tray, and it's really inconvenient because you're usually dehydrating the same thing and you want each tray to be covered the same way. So there's plenty of these here for every single one. And then they also come with these, which are like, probably if you're using liquid, that way it will not go through at all, or just anything that you don't want to drip through the bottom. So it comes with, I'm pretty sure it's one for every, it might be 4, I can't tell. And then some little tongs.
So it's pretty nice. You get all the accessories you need. And a lot of these dehydrators, you have to buy the accessories separate, like she was saying. Okay, so this is just very easy. We hit the power button, and then you turn up to the heat that you want, which this is at 149 for oranges, and then we set it on 16 hours. We'll see how that goes. We can check it periodically because there's a light. So let's get these bad boys in here. Oh, we did let it preheat for about 5 minutes. All right, so there you go. The one thing about it is, okay, every time. The one thing about it is you don't want to overlap and you don't want to overcrowd when you're dehydrating. So ours oranges, I mean, it held a lot. They're very big trays.
They're more like tangerines.
Yeah, more like tangerines, but it held a lot of them, and we only needed 3 trays out of the 8 that there are. All right, now we're headed to the pantry. We have been letting our freeze dryer cool for 15 minutes, actually a little bit longer while we were doing that. So now we can add our milk to the tray. And so if you don't pre-freeze your milk, we have learned from our mistakes here. This is the way to add any liquids to your freeze dryer. Add the trays already in here, so it's a lot easier to just scoot it in instead of having to try to carry your trays full of milk any kind of distance. So the milk is in, it is not pre-froze, and I'm gonna tell you right now, because we had this happen to us, if you've been around, you saw it happen live on footage, which was not fun, and that was the milk boiling over. We also had it happen with our eggs, boiling over. The key to that was our pump. We'd made a very rookie mistake, and we plugged our pump into the wall instead of into the freeze dryer. So what that meant was every time it was freezing, the pump was kicking on, which was building that pressure and causing it to expand. So as long as that pump is plugged into your machine itself, which the outlet's right there on the back and it's obvious as daylight, that pump won't kick on until it's time to dry. So that is your key factor to make sure that you're not boiling over in any aspect. And so now we'll have some freeze-dried chocolate milk here. And what do y'all guess? What do you guess, babe?
36 hours.
She's gonna guess 36 hours. That's a big one. I think I'm gonna go 24 hours. Put your all's guesses down below. Oh, and I guess I should mention, because it is one of the top questions, this is a medium-sized freeze dryer with the premium oil pump. And so that is the setup that we have. They run a lot of good deals on them, but like I said, I know they are expensive. The links to both the dehydrator and the freeze dryer are always down below. Are you wanting like French fry size or diced?
No, diced.
Diced. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, you do it. Okay.
Try. Maybe not.
Small, a little thicker. I like that.
Take it over.
You told me to that. I was here to help.
Help, not take over.
Apologies. Okay, so Jen and I are doing something a little different. We've kind of naturally done this, but we're being more intentional about it. We're going to do supper, big suppers.
So when I was a kid, one set of my grandparents would do supper, and supper was at lunchtime. It was a much heavier meal, more like a dinner meal. And then when dinner time rolled around, like your traditional 5-6 p.m., we would just do like sandwiches or leftovers from supper, or just a light meal. And it's kind of something that we've, like he said, adapted a little bit, but it's kind of been unintentional. So now we want to be intentional about it.
Right.
Overall, it just feels better. I usually don't even eat breakfast, so I just kind of skip that. Him and the kids will have something light usually, unless it's like a holiday or something, then we'll do a big breakfast. But usually by 12-1, I'm pretty hungry, and it's kind of like an unintentional fast that I do. I don't want to eat in the morning. So yeah, I'm thinking we can do a bigger supper, lunch, which would be a dinner meal, and then we just eat really light at dinner time. The kids can have their charcuterie boards and their raw vegetables, and we can have sandwiches or leftovers.
Right, and I like it.
Yeah, and it's much better for digestion too. It lets you go to bed without that heavy meal on your stomach, and then you already had that heavy meal, so your metabolism works a little bit harder.
We've always been early dinner eaters anyways.
Yes.
I don't even I like to eat like at 5 or before 5.
Yeah.
So this just makes sense for us. And by the time the evening comes, we're like pooped. Mm-hmm. And we don't really feel like cooking. So then we've noticed that we'll order takeout, or we'll eat something that probably isn't the healthiest thing in the world. And at lunchtime, that's when we still have good energy and such, and we're not tired from the day. So Now we can be more intentional on what we're eating too, because we're not just trying to get by.
So we're gonna try it out. And we're gonna see how it goes. I think we'll love it. I think we've already basically been doing it, and I think it'll work out really good.
Yeah.
So let us know if that's something you do. Do you have supper? Or do you have your big meal at dinner? All right, so you've already seen a little bit of prep, but we are gonna have some of our home canned corn. I've just got that coming to a boil, and now it's gonna simmer. It's really sweet and so good. We're gonna have some butter noodles with some of our broth, and then once that's done cooking, we're gonna turn it into kind of like an Alfredo butter noodle type thing. Zach is frying up the pork chops that we're gonna have a raw onion with, and then we've got our sweet potatoes, garlic, and mushroom and onions all from the garden in our oven, and they're roasting.
So these pork chops are real thick cuts, so I cut them in half, and then I actually beat them. Y'all saw I use a mason jar to just beat them down to get them a little bit thinner. And then I don't use any egg, any binder, anything like that, because we just want a really light coat of breading on there, because we're not trying to kill ourselves with too much here. It's just getting a light coat on there to give it just a little crispiness, and it's one of our favorite things that we love to eat.
Okay, so we drained off some of the broth, not all of it. Now we're gonna put in some butter, melted. We're gonna throw in some heavy whipping cream and some Parmesan, plenty of Parmesan. And we're gonna stir it and see what it looks like, and if we need to add anything else. Definitely needs salt and pepper. And there you go. It's like a butter noodle slash Alfredo white spaghetti. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Delicious.
Yes.
All right, it's time to plate. The pork chops are done, the corn's done, Jen's butter noodle Alfredo stuff is done, and then the roasted sweet potatoes, mushrooms, and garlic are all done.